Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Today's talk, we'll be talking about the Vedic cosmology, flat Earth. More specifically, today will be about flight patterns and Krishna's flat Earth. So, would anyone be willing to read these on the bottom of this meme here?
Sure,
Once that
maybe
clears up.
something's blocking.
Yeah, should.
Yeah, some people think going around the world means this kind of circle, which would be circling the globe,
Mhm.
when in reality it is this kind of circle, meaning a flat disc.
Right. Yeah, thank you. So we can see that basically in both situations you're going around something. It's just a different conception of which way you're going around and what direction you're going around. So that's just wanted to open up with that flat Earth meme. And
What was with Tinkerbell?
think about yeah, I don't know.
That's Disney.
Yeah, it makes it look weird, but he's just like she's like
Did Disney produce this or
magic. So we go with the flat Earth map and flight patterns. Tamal Krishna Maharaj, speaking to Prabhupada, he basically is referring to the Bhagavatam, and he's very clear. He knows that the Earth is not a globe according to the Bhagavatam, and so some issues arise between how are we going to display this. And there was a lot of questions given to Prabhupada about it. So
In the Vedic planetarium.
yes, right, yeah. To display the Vedic planetarium properly as per Srimad Bhagavatam. So there came many questions. And so this article is from Maheshwara Prabhu, who has done extensive research and writing on this topic. He says, could the idea that the earth is not a globe be also part of Krishna's unfolding plan? As mentioned, it was only a few months before his departure in 1977 that Srila Prabhupada, along with his disciples, even began to try to decipher the mysterious description of the earth given by Shukadeva Goswami. That's in Srimad Bhagavatam. These talks are recorded as discussions on the Bhumandala. There are a few related conversations that we will also discuss. The possibility that the globe itself was a false construct of reality had not yet occurred to anyone, but that is the natural conclusion to be taken from Shukadeva Goswami's clear description of Bharatvarsha's location on Jambudvip, which we know is a round circular disc. Indeed, as we shall see, Tamal Krishna Goswami, a senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who had been working with a few other devotees on a map of the Bhumandala, was already aware of the implication of this concept to the globe idea. So this is Tamal Krishna's quote. He says, when Srila Prabhupada awoke after a night's rest, he opened his eyes and said, they go from Los Angeles. You think it all over, then I shall tell you. Srila Prabhupada was referring to the question which we had not yet solved. If the world is not a globe, but part of Jambudvip, which is the center of the huge lotus-like Bhumandala, how does an airplane fly from Los Angeles to Hawaii to Tokyo and on to India? The scientists explain by saying that the airplane circles the globe. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no planet Earth, as the scientists say, floating in space. Rather, there is Bharatvarsha with its 7 continents and oceans and Himalayan mountains. Tamal Krishna Goswami's diary. Prabhupada's final days, July 3rd, 1977. In a conversation with Srila Prabhupada in 1977, his most senior disciple, Tamal Krishna Goswami, who was helping to work on the research for the Vedic planetarium, shows his clear comprehension of what Srimad Bhagavatam is actually describing as Earth's shape. Tamal Krishna says, look at the Earth. Now this is a real question that we still have to answer. They picture the Earth round, and we say no. Bhumandala is like a lotus, like this. and the Earth is only one part of one island in Bumandala, and it's not, it's not round. It doesn't look like that. And all the pictures that they take of the Earth when they go up in their satellites show round. And we're going to tell them that it's not. This is a very tricky question. In other words, if this is the picture of the world like this, and we say that, so this here is the kind of the important part that we're just focusing on for this talk. It says, if we take an airplane from here, from Los Angeles, now supposing we go to India, which is here, so you can kind of picture what he's saying in the map. So there's two ways to go. One way you can go like this, which would be east on the globe, and the other way you can go like that, which we can also go west, we can go both ways. But if the Earth is not a round globe, then how is it sometimes people go from Los Angeles via Hawaii to Japan and India? So we can't figure this out, he says. We have experience, those of us who have flown, that actually the plane went from Los Angeles to Hawaii, to Tokyo, to Hong Kong, and then to India. So it doesn't work out in our maps so far, right? We can't figure it out. This thing has to be very complete in its answers. Otherwise, everyone will laugh at us. We can't leave any loopholes. Prabhupada says, so are you thinking on this? Bhakti Prema says, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, it is indistinct. Prabhupada says, find out from our side, according to Bhagavatam. From Bhumandala Discussion, 1977, Vrindavan, July 2nd. So, it's a very great, intelligent question. The question was not answered. It was sort of left unanswered. And now we have the answer. With the emergence of the flat Earth map, and the flat Earth map is ancient. I believe it was made in the 1800s. And it's been used by pilots to navigate. And basically there's been a resurgence of that map and that model of the Earth in 2015 mainly, with the flat Earth movement. So this would be the map as the scientists show us, the globe map just laid out flat. And on this map, as Tamal Krishna was saying, there would only be one way that we could fly from LA to India. We can only go one way. Sorry, no, that's not right. According to their map on the globe, we can go two ways. But if it's flat and there's no curve that they can go around the other side, then we could only go this way, east. We wouldn't be able to go west and around, or over and under like that, if we're saying it's flat. So how is it possible? He said, we have experience of this. We take planes. We've gone from LA, and we go to Hawaii, to Tokyo, so we know it's a fact.
You could go any way you wanted to, right? You wouldn't be the shortest way, but you fly
That's true, you could just fly
a
around.
long way around.
That is true.
But the shortest way.
But if we look at this same idea on the flat Earth map,
Straightest line.
here's the flat Earth map, and we can see that in this model, you can go either way. You can go east, that'll be west, that'll be west. You can go west, you can go east.
So that's north.
This is North America here, California. This would be India down here, Japan would be over here, I believe. Hawaii is actually out here.
So you're saying this? So could you go in like a straight line?
You could also, yeah.
So what's in the middle there? That's the.
This here? Well, this is what they call the North Pole. I believe it's Greenland ice cap. I'm not 100% sure. So this here is the Gleason map, the original flat Earth map, and here we can see very clearly. And Mahesh Prabhu will give me this actually right before the lecture. Thank you, Prabhu. So we can see we're going here. We can go east from LA to Germany, straight to India.
Yeah.
Stop off here, fuel, whatever they need to do. And we could also go west. Go to Hawaii, Japan, India, which is the exact route that Tamal Krishna was asking about. So the question is answered right here. This is how we can go both ways. Right? Because it's a flat, circular plane, and as the meme showed, we can go around this way instead of around the globe. There's that picture again. Another one here with sailing ships around
Running
Well-
around your neighborhood.
Can you read it, bro?
Running around your neighborhood doesn't make your neighborhood round.
Yes. Thank you. Exactly. So running around your neighborhood doesn't make your neighborhood round, as in globular or circular, spherical. So this is a direct flight from LA to Japan. You simply go straight across. Boom. There you are. Okay. So let's show something here. So, and Prabhupada addresses this. He says that the earth is round and it's flat. I'll show you that later. Bhakti Prema says, earth is round and flat, both together. Prabhupada says, yes. So this would be an example of round and flat. It's round as in circular and flat plane. Here it is again. Bhakti Prema. It is written that the world, the earth is round and flat. Prabhupada. Bhakti Prema. Earth is round and flat, both together. Prabhupada, yes. So here, Prabhupada gets into the specifics of what our little Varsha circle, what it looks like, and he says it's round. So again, there's two kinds of round. The word round can be spherical, it can be circular. So Prabhupada here is talking about the lotus petal. Jambudvip is described as a lotus petal, round like a lotus petal, which is a flat, round disc. Prabhupada says lotus is also round. Lotus, that petal is also round. Lotus petal is round. So within one lotus petal, this round or that round, there is. And again, this is the same conversation where he's talking to Tamal Krishna about these flights. So he's giving the same explanation that means. It's basically showing. You can go around like this, you can go around like that. You probably still want to see that. So Satadhyana says, and within their own limited sphere, they can go this way or that way, but they don't know the whole shape. Prabhupada, yes, lotus petal, it is round. So in one lotus petal, you are conditioned. You cannot go. Tamal Krishna. So far that hasn't been said, but you can say that Varsha is a petal of the lotus. And I think if you look at the Bhagavatam, I'd have to see it, what it says. There's a statement that it may be the inner portion of the lotus. I don't know. Break. And what we do, it has to agree with Bhagavatam. Prabhupada, lotus petal. There are so many petals. You are conditioned within one petal. Tamal Krishna. If that's the explanation, then it can be somehow adjusted. Prabhupada, you do not know what is going on outside. So, to go back to the flat earth map, that shows it right there. We are stuck into our little lotus petal here by these gigantic walls of ice, 100 to 200 feet high. It's been reported by Admiral Byrd, who flew over this area called Antarctica, that it is the size of America. So, miles and miles, thousands of miles of ice, like a plateau. Top is like a plateau, just ice. So, as Prabhupada said, we're stuck in this little lotus petal. And you can go this way around, we can go, get the pointer, you go this way around, you go this way around, and you may have all kinds of continents, but the main point is we're stuck here. Prabhupada gives the example of a bull who is tied to a post. He's made to walk around the post, and they put blindfold on him because if he sees that he's constantly going around and around, he's going to go mad. So they put a blindfold, and as he's walking, he's thinking, I'm going thousands of miles, I'm going very far. So that's like our condition here. We can just go all around here, but there's lots more outside, as we know from studying Bhagavatam. There's other islands jumbled with.
So what's that white part in the middle?
North Pole.
Yes, the North Pole.
You said it wasn't North Pole.
Yeah, there's a magnetic central point where our compasses bring us all to the center of the Earth. Yeah. It can be experienced by the compasses.
There's ice there, right?
Yeah. Okay, so here's just another quote from Prabhupada. Prabhupada, that argument also I have refuted. Just like an animal, he is bound up. He is rotating around the log, and within that there may be Japan, there may be Calcutta, there may be Los Angeles. You can think this is there, but that is not all. within that rounding circle, whatever is there, you may think this is all, but that is not all. So you can see here, same idea. You go around the circle. Basically, this flat Earth model is describing, this map is describing how this can be done. And here's one just with the continents and everything.
That's this Arctic Circle.
Arctic Circle, Arctic Ocean is the
Arctic Ocean.
Yeah. So Australia, Africa, India's here.
Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean. I guess everything else would be Atlantic.
It's very exciting. These things are being revealed. It's amazing. You know, that we can figure these things out with science and with the correct science. And the correct science is emerging. It's in the Bhagavatam, and there's a quote somewhere that basically, I wish I could find it, that these things will be revealed over time. And here's an interesting one. Tamal Krishna, the map, as the modern people show it, India, Africa, Europe, America, North America, South America. Do we accept that much? Prabhupada. Tamal Krishna, do we accept the contour of the continents? Do we accept the general continents? Prabhupada. We accept nothing of their theory. They are prejudiced and nonsense. So, there's no one. Prabhupada, so you're going round. You'll go this round or that round, but within the round. Tamal Krishna, okay, but the whole question we're saying is that we say, no, you can only go one way. Prabhupada says, no, I don't say. Tamal Krishna, but according to our Prabhupada, if you're going round, you can go this way or that way. Tamal Krishna, but there's no round. Prabhupada, yes, it is round. You are thinking round. You are going round. So yeah, it seems to me, unfortunately, we can't see his hand movements. You know, I assume he was doing something, but what we can kind of infer from this is, you know, you're thinking it's round, as we have been thinking, but it's actually round like this. It's a flat circular disc.
They are rascal.
What?
No, the other way.
Yeah.
Right there. They are rascal.
Yeah, they are rascal, but they will challenge and give questions. We must answer them.
So, yeah.
But what is this? First of all, answer this. Everything proposition is wrong, so how can we trust them? What is the answer? Tamal Krishna, we cannot trust them. Prabhupada, then. But if you cannot trust them, they're rejected immediately. This is one argument. Another argument, Bengali. The frog in the well, he's estimating. This is the limit of water. What do you understand about Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean? There are so many things. On the whole, we are imperfect, and although imperfect, they want to be perfect. That is cheating. For argument's sake, if we put some argument, we have to reply. We have to prepare for them. Otherwise, they're useless. We know they're useless, but sometimes they put some argument. We have to give answer. This is the position. And our duty is to present picture of Srimad Bhagavatam correct. So what do you have to say? At least some answer you should give. The biggest problem we are discussing, this says, biggest problem we are discussing. We were thinking that the first question they will ask, this is their conception of the world, Prabhupada. We reject them. You should have known that. Yes, Prabhupada, you are imperfect. So whatever you have written, that is nonsense. And everywhere problem. Why should we waste our time? Now just try to sell from point of, he's showing this book, I am showing the Bhagavatam. So you are imperfect, that's a fact. What is the value of your book? If you are basically a rascal, then what is the value of your book? Why shall I waste my time? First of all, I take it and I prove it that you are a rascal. You show your book, I show my book. But you have been proved that you are a rascal. Because practically, you cannot cross the Himalaya. You have no idea what is the Himalaya. You are giving some conflict. So, along with learning what the Srimad Bhagavatam says about the earth and the truth about it, alongside of that, Prabhupada wanted us to expose the lies of these rascals and these scientists and these atheists. Prabhupada was exposing their lies all around about we came from chemicals. Prabhupada shows very clearly we came from life comes from life, and he would challenge these. He would have his disciples challenge these scientists. Prabhupada would challenge them himself. If life came from chemicals, if I give you some chemicals, can you create life? I mean, that I cannot say. Yeah. So he was constantly challenging these rascals, and so that's side by side with learning the truth and showing the truth. We also need to expose the lies. So the globe Earth is one of the biggest lies that everybody has really accepted, and in order to understand the Srimad Bhagavatam's description of the Earth and the universe, we have to also, decode and expose those lies to ourselves and to others, and learn the truth. There we go. So, welcome. So just a few more quotes. So going round the flat Earth map, going round explained. So I'll just quickly do a quick review here. So basically we're talking about Tamal Krishna asking Prabhupada about flight routes. He says the Bhagavatam says, it doesn't say that the Earth is a globe. It says nowhere that Earth is a globe. It says it's flat and round, like this one here. So he asks, how is it that we can fly in two directions? If we're in LA and we want to fly to India, we can go east or we can go west. Scientists say, well, that's because it's a globe, and that's how we do that. That's how we go both ways. Tamal Krishna asked this question, and so now we can see, and Prabhupada's saying in all these different quotes that the Earth is like a lotus petal, which is round, a round lotus petal, and he says that it's flat and round. So we can see this flat Earth map that's been, shown. Krishna is revealing this information to us in the world, and it's flat and round. And so you can do the same thing on this model that you could on the globe. You can go either way. You can go east, you can go west, etc. So that's what we're showing today. And just a quick quote from Prabhupada about that. The flat Earth map is round and flat. Bhakti Prema, Earth is round and flat both. Srila Prabhupada, yes. You see that? Earth is round and flat both together. Prabhupada, yes. We'll read some more quotes. So going round the flat Earth map, going round, explain Prabhupada. Suppose you're going round. You go this round or that round, but within the round. Oh, Krishna, okay, but the whole question we're saying is that we say, no, you can only go one way. Prabhupada says, no, I don't say. Tamal Krishna, but according to our Prabhupada, if you're going round, you can go this way or that way. Tamal Krishna, but there is no round, right? There's no round. Prabhupada says, yes, it is round. You are thinking round, but you are going round.
Oh, that's really funny.
I'm just going to turn up this mic. Sorry. So we are also conditioned, but as far as possible, we take the description from the Bhagavad, that is suppose here is India, here is Los Angeles. You start from India, Los Angeles, or India, you'll come to Los Angeles, and again return to India. Similarly, you start from this, again going. Tamal Krishna, yes, that's possible if you can fly this way underneath. Prabhupada, but where is the underneath? Sorry, you want to see that? So basically he's saying yeah, if you can fly underneath, like the globe, then it's possible. And Prabhupada says, but where is the underneath? So in other words, it's obviously not a globe. And then I'll just show you guys a picture of that. This is Bhumandala here. This is our Earth. Of core of the Earth, Bhumandala, in the gray. And so it extends from one side of the universe to the other. So as Prabhupada said, there's no underneath it. You can't fly underneath this thing. It's just a flat circular disk, horizontal plane that extends for millions and millions of miles, or actually 2 billion miles. And so this is the true shape of the Earth. And here we have Natashesha holding the top, the bottom of Bhumandala, the entire middle planetary system of Bhumandala. We have the 7 subterranean heavenly planets below our Earth's surface: Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. And then we have Mount Meru on top, as well as the Garbhodak Ocean on the very bottom. So this is somewhat of an intro to the next conversation, which will be describing round like a lotus petal. We'll go over again like how the Earth is round and flat at the same time. Yes.
They're only talking about Bhumandala, like, Bhumandala is just, like, the Earth, right?
Well,
Or,
yeah, Bhumandala is the Earth in that
it's that
it's called
one.
the Earth's circle, but it's the entire 7 planets with 7 oceans. So it's not where we live. That's outside, but it's also considered Earth, Bhumandala. But our little Earth where we live is called Bharavarsha.
Yeah, okay. So Bhumandala isn't just that little island.
That we live on. No.
Yeah. So Bhumandala is like the whole big, like with the different types of oceans and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
And my other question is that so the whole Bhumandala is flat, like a lotus
Yeah.
petal.
Well, the whole Bhumandala is flat, yes, and they're concentric circles,
Okay.
but they're like rings. Like the Jambudvip in the middle, it says is round like a lotus petal. So it's round like a circle, and it's flat. Now outside of that is the saltwater ocean that surrounds it.
And we're like one of the 7 weird floating.
Yeah, we're one of the 9 islands on the bottom of that island. Yeah, and we're also a circular. And in that conversation, Prabhupada specifically describing Bharavarsha, where we live, our little Earth.
So my other question was, are we the only ones that are like circular? One of the islands that are circular, or like
The other 8 islands of Bharavarsha, man?
So I just asked the question if Bhumandala was all like, is that like all like a lotus leaf that's like flat and circle?
Yep. No, flat
Okay.
circle.
And so is Jambudvip. Is that where it is? That
Yeah, we're part of Jambudvip. Yeah, we're part of the central island of Bhumandala called Jambudvip. We're on the southern part of it.
Yeah, but our little thing
Mhm.
is also just like Bhumandala. It's just like a little Bhumandala. It's a little like lotus flat flower.
Yeah, so actually I was going to go into this for the next class, but basically I'll show you that real quick. So there's basically 2 descriptions of Bhumandala being like a lotus flower. So the first one is this inner portion, which is those 7 islands and 7 oceans that are inhabited by people and beings. And that says it's the whorl of the lotus. And yes, that's a flat, horizontal plane with circles. Or rings of oceans and islands. And then in the middle is a circle. Now it gets, and then on the edge here is Loka Loka mountain. This is like the cup, or up here you can see on the top left you can see how it's the whorl of the lotus. It's inside the middle portion. It's considered the whorl, and it's a flat circular disc. And then this Mount Meru is called the pericarp of the lotus flower, which is a mountain made of gold. And then when it gets Bhagavad Gita gives very detailed descriptions, size, length, who's living on here. We can see here the description: saltwater ocean surrounded by Plakshadvip, sugarcane ocean, Shalmandvip, liquor ocean. And then it describes the middle islands where we live, Jambudvip. It's a circle, like it's round like a lotus. So you can see on the top right, round like a lotus petal.
Oh.
So there's basically 2 descriptions that Bhumandala is like a lotus. Those ways, so yeah. And they're both flat and circular. Right. They're both flat. The middle one is circular. The other ones are round. The Jambuduk is actually unique in that way. As you can see here, it's right in the middle. It's a flat circular disc. I'm sorry. Yeah, flat circular disc. Barbarsha is on the southern side. Barbarsha, which contains our Earth, surrounded by saltwater ocean. And then there are these rings outside, which are islands and oceans as well.
What's like outside of like the big like mountain things that are like the world of this flower?
This is called Aloka Varsha, which is uninhabited land, completely dark,
And
not
those are
not lit
like,
by the sun.
are those like the petals?
Well, the mountain here is considered like the,
The petals are upwards.
yeah, they're like going up like that. So everything is within this little cup. And so all the inhabited beings are inside here. And actually the sun, it rotates here around the top of the lotus flower. And all the sunlight does not go past this. This is like, I forget the amount, but it's like however high the sun goes, that's how high this mountain goes. So I just want to show some things here. So about that question that he had about, that Tamal Krishna had about the flight patterns. So we're just going to go over some few flight pattern videos here and how they work on the flat Earth map and not really on the globe map. I forgot to set up the audio. I have to do that real quick.
Ask a quick question.
Sure, yeah.
So let's say, what would happen if you just started drilling, you kept digging into the earth? Like, where would you? Because you say the planets are lower,
Yeah.
like below the earth. Like,
Yeah, you would hit, first you would just have earth under you, and if you kept digging, and it'd give the exact length and the depth in Bhagavatam, you would hit the first world.
you would.
Yeah.
So there's like,
You come out the top of it.
are there like beings living in the earth down there? Like they're coming up, like we get descriptions. They're coming up from the ocean. They're coming up from like these, whatever,
Yeah,
they're down and living in the earth, right?
Yeah, there's holes in the ground
My grandpa
that they can come up through.
My grandpa lives in Florida, and one time he told me that he saw like a UFO going
Line in.
Through the ground?
yeah,
Just
in
see.
the water.
So
And I
that's-
was
Just see.
like, what,
So
Grandpa?
they're coming
He
in
was
from
like,
the
I swear. I was like,
In the
okay.
ground or in the water?
In the water.
In the
like,
water,
into the
yeah.
Yes.
water.
Well, there's many accounts from when Hitler was here. He sent a bunch of his boats up to the North Pole, and we sent a bunch of our boats for the